We are rolling.
Here we go. Take two.
Episode 2. So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Muzz and the Chefs. How the hell did we end up here?
How the hell did we get here?
Episode 2. So, the agenda this week, we're just going to... let me look at my notes
I
here.
thought you were going to fact check. You told me you were going to fact check.
Okay, so that's intro's done.
Yeah. Oh, I know one fact I got wrong. I said Australia could have 70 million, and it's 122 million, I think.
Yes, we can look at that. Okay, so fact check from last week. So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is each week, because we don't know what topic the other person's going to bring up until we actually say it in the studio. So that means we talk a lot of shit.
That's correct.
And we pull, quote, facts out of our asses.
We don't quote facts. We make up facts.
Or make them up. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
A made up
Air
fact.
quotes. Facts. Yeah. All right. So these are the ones that I Googled just before you come over.
All right.
So remember I was talking about
I can't wait to
Snowy Hydro?
Yeah.
Okay, how they pump water back up?
Yeah. Doesn't happen.
Yes, it does.
Does
it? Does happen. Yep. Okay, so this comes from the Herald, actually, Newcastle Herald.
Well,
So-
Fairfax.
So, well, fake news, is it?
Not saying a word.
Snowy Hydro, and there's a 2.0 Sony Snowy Hydro they're going to release soon, which is costing
been drinking?
billions of dollars. I've had a couple of sips, and I've got the squeaky chair
You do have the squeaky chair.
again.
I've got my own
We'll give it
chair,
a
so
name.
let's just pretend we're not on the same chair.
We're going to give it a name, Mr. Squeaky.
Mr. Squeaky.
Anyway, so Snowy Hydro will use wind and solar energy, not coal, to support its pumped hydro storage generators in a deal the company says will help cut households' power bills from 2020. This agreement will put significant pressure on the wholesale.
Do you think you should have read this first?
No. It's in. Pumped hydro storage works by using water power within a closed-loop system where the water generates energy by draining from a dam at the top of the hill down through the turbines to a reservoir at the bottom, and is then pumped back up to the top dam again to restart the cycle.
And everybody's asleep.
Yes, so that's true. All right, so we've got lots of these. We've got about 8. Okay, so staying on the subject of renewable energy. Reload.
So why are we checking renewable energy facts when we were talking about Brexit?
Well, because these come up in this conversation. So, how much energy is? Can you remember I said they use more energy to produce the solar panel
Than the solar panel can in its lifetime, yes.
I was wrong.
Yes. You heard it first. First time I've ever heard it.
So it depends on the type of solar panel, where it was made, where it was installed, and various other things. But roughly speaking, a solar panel will produce between 6 to 40 times as much energy as it takes to produce it. So on that one.
Do you want a fork there for your humble pie? Or are you just going to eat it?
Okay, so really quickly, what things they use to create solar panels? What are the minerals used? So you got things like aluminium, cadmium, cobalt, copper, gallium, indium, iron, lead, lithium, manganese, nickel, silica, silver, selenium, and the list goes on. Quite a lot. So to produce them, we need to still mine.
It sounds like a list of heavy metal albums.
It does. Okay, so...
Come on.
Okay, the cost of solar panels was another thing that I brought up, and I said I reckon it's about 10 grand, and I was pretty close.
8.5.
Actually, I was definitely... It was no. Oh, actually, no, you're close. So, solar batteries range between $5,000 to $7,000 plus, and from $400 per kilowatt hour to $750 per kilowatt hour. So I was close. It was within tens of thousands.
I'm still awake. It's a good thing.
Clive Palmer.
I've never seen you openly go, I was wrong.
I'll admit when I'm wrong. So yeah, Clive Palmer spent 60 million. I don't know if I said 6 million or 60, or I said 2 million or 20 million. I can't remember. But yeah, 60, and failed to win a single seat.
Yep, you should have gone to IKEA. You've got a lot of seats for that amount of money.
This is the one we were just talking about just before we started recording. How many people could Australia
Support
or accommodate?
Yeah.
Beyond 30 million, Australia may not be food secure in drought years. So more than half of Australia's population growth is due to immigration.
That's a good thing.
But you come up with a different figure the other day, though.
Yeah. my fact said it could support up to 122.
I think it could, but I think that's
that whole West Coast, like that whole West Coast from Broome to Darwin, where nobody lives. Well, I'm sure there is somebody living there, but not a lot of people. There should be another major West Coast city.
Okay, and the very last one before we continue on to this week's topic is, how long do solar panels last? Now, this is another place where I got it wrong. Shaking his fist at me. Okay, so...
How wrong were you?
Well, this I still think this is a little bit debatable, but I'm quite happy to say that I'm wrong. So a standard solar panel warranties, the warranties, the typical warranty for a solar panel is 25 years. During this period, manufacturers guarantee that panels will operate at near or peak efficiency. Most panels are covered to produce at least 80% of their rated output over the life of the warranty.
You say 25 years? I think last week you said 5.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I was wrong. And they do degrade about 1% each year.
Oh, that's not bad.
So, fact check from last week. So, I was only like 2 things wrong.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad, not terrible, not great, but we got there.
Yes, well, there won't be many facts in this one.
Oh, really? Oh, God, yeah. Okay. I can hardly...
So this week...
I'm trembling with anticipation.
We're going to discuss religion.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Really? Straight off the bat.
Oh, right.
Look at that, straight off the bat. Well, yeah, you inspired me with the book you got from your father.
Oh, Jesus.
What was it? No, I don't think Jesus... It wasn't about Jesus. What was it called?
It was called God is Good for You.
God is Good for You.
Yes.
Well... Stop squeaking your chair. So religion, we've had lots of discussions.
It's becoming an extra personality for the show.
A personality for the show would be good. So we've discussed religion numerous times.
Yes.
And it's wound
you up. Politics.
It's wound you up off the bat straight away, which is just, I score immediately. So the reason being, come to my attention again this week, as it does most weeks, is that Mr. Pell looks like he's no longer going to be in a cell.
Oh, what a shock.
So he's going to
get... You're a poet and you didn't know it.
I know. But
did you know it?
I didn't use his... I'd love to see that for Christmas, wouldn't it? Pell in a cell rather than elf on a shelf. That'd be great. But...
Yes, I suspected as much.
But do you think that's purely from pulling strings or
look,
money?
To be quite honest with you, I don't know a lot about it. I haven't really been following that.
People said he interfered with little boys. He said he didn't.
Well, he's been convicted of interfering with little boys, yeah?
Well, they're appealing. How did he get that far that quick?
Well, is it... We've got
Is it divine?
No, I don't think it's divine intervention. I don't think it's got anything to do with it. I think being a conservative government probably helps.
You think ScoMo came to the rescue?
Well, I don't know. Look, as I said, I really don't know much about this case, but honestly, they're all buddies, aren't they?
ScoMo's a happy clappy.
He's a what?
He's a happy clappy Christian. He's a God botherer.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
No, he's openly praised Jesus.
I have heard such murmurs.
You've heard such murmurs?
I don't know for sure, because I haven't followed this case. But anyway.
So, you don't believe in God, do you?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, no. Okay.
You're going to have to answer some of these questions.
I'll tell you my philosophy. Okay, this is my philosophy. And I think I actually think about this quite a bit. My philosophy is...
You don't want to discuss it, but you go, I think about this quite a bit.
I do think about it. It doesn't mean I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I have experienced a lot of things in my life that, which not prove. Well, it proved to me, but wouldn't prove to the wider world that there is something beyond the physical.
Beyond the veil.
Well, beyond the physical, beyond, nuts and bolts and bones and flesh and blah, blah. Particularly in, the paranormal stuff that I've done. Yes. So I definitely think that there's something.
What were the name of the 2 books? Well, there was 2 books.
My 2 books, yes. Yeah. My 2 books are Ghost Guide, Understanding Ghosts and How to Investigate Them, and my second book is The Haunted Hunter, Ghost Tales and Other Mysteries from the Hunter Valley.
There you go.
There you go. There's a little plug. You can buy them on my website, www.huntervalleyghosttours.com.au.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the plug. But anyway, where were we?
You were saying how you've experienced stuff that makes you believe.
This is the long answer, sorry. But so I do, and I've always been a very spiritual person, but I'm not a religious person. I think there's a difference.
Please explain.
I'll just explain it from my point of view.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am very interested in pagan. I'm not I'm interested in all religions, to be quite honest with you. Everything. Like, I find it all interesting. Doesn't mean I believe in it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I follow it. I just find religious and spiritual and metaphysical. I find all very interesting. So, so I've read a lot of stuff. No expert on anything. Jack of all trades, master of none. So yeah, one of the things that and being very much into paganism, and I used to be into sort of witchy stuff and things like that, is that one of the founding authors of, or founding people of modern witchcraft is a guy called Gerald Gardner. And he was
Isn't
the one
that
that...
an oxymoron? Modern witchcraft isn't supposed to be ancient?
Well, this is the argument I've had with plenty of people too. Anyway, when he released his books, which were released as fiction with stuff that the actual rituals and things they actually did described in the book.
So the spells.
Well, spells and rituals and Sabbath.
For self-gain mostly, isn't it?
Well, I think a lot of those guys back then, wanted to have, sky-clad naked rituals so they could have sex with girls they wouldn't normally be able to.
Yes.
But anyway, one of the things that he said, and in Wicca or in a lot of neo-pagan or modern pagan beliefs, is that there's two main deities. So there's the god and the goddess, and they represent things like, well, to dumb it really down, night and day, sun and moon, yin and yang. So the world or the universe as we know it, the physical universe is polar opposites, which create harmony. So that's like yin and yang.
Polar opposites create, but that's the problem. Religion doesn't create harmony.
But let me continue.
You're going to anyway, so go ahead.
I haven't reached my point yet. I know it's a long time getting there. I know. So anyway, so one of the things that he said in his writings, and I'm sure it's been said by other people, is that God is unknowable. It's like the tree of life. It's like the Jewish tree of life. We're too stupid to know the upper echelons about. It'd be like you explaining yourself to a cockroach or a mouse. It's just going to go, what the hell?
Yep.
So we can't fathom God as people.
If you do that one more time,
that's the first time I've done it.
No, it's not. It's the
the
third
first
time
time
you've
I've
done it. He's
Anyway.
doing air quotes. I'm gonna break his fingers in a minute.
Okay, I'll fold my arms. So
Please
I can't do it
continue.
again. But what I'm saying is that we're too stupid to be able to conceive or even understand God. So I believe that there's something there, but all the trappings that gets put on it from humans are human things.
Okay.
That's what I believe. So yes, I believe. I don't like a lot of pagans believe in actual deities. They might, if they're into, I don't know, say, not the movies, but as I say, into Greek or Roman mythology, they might believe in Thor, for example. I don't believe in Thor, but he's an archetype. He's not a real thing. So it represents something about us, or he's in our.
Was that our religion, the Thor thing?
Sorry.
Well, Thor was a god, wasn't he?
Yeah, Thor was Greek. I'm sure, Greek or Roman. I can't remember.
I thought he was Valhalla. I thought he was that.
No, that's Nordic.
I thought.
Thor you're right.
is Nordic.
Yeah, sorry, I'm talking shit. Yeah, as usual.
Wow, what a surprise!
Sorry, yeah, Thor. Yeah, right.
Really,
it's Nordic.
It's a strange Greek name, Thor, isn't it?
Well, that's just the first thing. Maybe I was thinking Thor, but I was thinking Hercules, because one carries a sword,
Hercules
one
wasn't
carries
a
a
god,
hammer,
was
which is totally the same. Anyway. Yeah, so in answer to your question, yes, I do believe in what I call a supreme being, a created God, like the Native Americans call him the Great Spirit, things like that. So I do believe in that. I believe we were created by something that we cannot understand. We're too stupid to understand it. So religion has gone, oh, I understand it, and now you have to do what I say. Particularly Abrahamic religions.
Okay.
Which you look like you could fucking start a sermon right now.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because
the beard and
the beard and the dreads. Don't let it fool you. No, I see. My beliefs are much different. And
does it answer the question, though?
Does it answer the question? Yeah, you do believe in God. You believe in a God.
Well, I don't like to even use the term God. It's great
supreme
spirit,
being,
creator, the architect.
Bang! We're all here.
Well, the Matrix had the architect.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I see, because
the great architect, which is a Masonic thing.
There you go. Am I allowed to talk now?
Yeah, you can.
I was brought up Irish Catholic.
Yes.
Communion, confirmation.
So did I, but in the Anglican Church. Which is kind of the Diet Coke.
It's kind of like you have to believe all this stuff, but you don't actually have to do it.
just turn up on Sunday. Please turn up on Sunday.
Yeah. Whereas mine was all fire and brimstone.
Yes, I've heard similar things.
And I was indoctrinated into that for years and years and years. And it's only as I've got older that I've started to question it and question more and more of it.
Yes.
So I'd call myself fairly well lapsed. I'd be so lapsed, I'd be, not even in the building. That's how lapsed a Catholic I would be. I'm coming to the conclusion that there isn't a God. I'm coming to the conclusion that humans created this thing because we don't trust our own moral compass. We have to have something there that he rewards us or punishes us at the end because we don't trust ourselves to be able to do it by ourselves.
Okay, but in argument with that is that in most Christian sects, shall I say, is that you can be a sinner your entire life, and on your deathbed, you come into the priest and go, look, I'm sorry I did all this stuff, and you're absolved of all your sins, absolution, and you're right to go to heaven.
But you're supposed to actually mean it. You can't just
you're supposed
say
to mean it, but do people, I don't know anyone personally who's done it.
Well, let's get Ivan in next week and see Mr. Balat and see if he says anything before he chuffs
ever
off.
A Christian?
Who knows? But yeah, my views have changed greatly.
Yes, and so have mine. I think, I think I've said this to you before. You may not believe this. I actually did used to go to church, and I did used to choose to go to church as well. So this is where I believe that it's just a spiritual thing, spiritual calling or something, and that's what was available to me at the time because I didn't know anything else. So, but I was probably in my 20th year, my 20s, and I picked up a book called Life After Life by Dr. Raymond Moody, and he studied near-death experiences, and that is what kind of deprogrammed me, because he interviewed thousands of people, I think mainly in the US, but in different parts of the world, and he had several books actually, and he went through and what's the word, sort of recorded the experiences that people had when they died. So people who had died for say 3-4 minutes and they were revived, and he
interviewed them.
Well, yeah, interviewed them and noted all that down, and collated the data, and it was very similar what people experienced. So
the white light,
but not only the white light. It wasn't where religion talks about damnation and the pearly gates. Very few people. Very few people experienced something negative. Most people experienced something positive, and most of them didn't want to come back. And it was usually something that, something like a family member, children, or maybe a parent, or someone in need was the one that made them come back. Because this light, we want to call the light God.
Unfinished business. Is that what you're saying? People came back because they had unfinished business?
Well, I don't know if unfinished business, but maybe they felt that they were needed. Maybe they had unfinished business or they had needed something to do that they hadn't achieved yet. Okay. But most of the time, from memory, although it could be... It's a fact-checking thing.
Yes.
That most of them felt that they had to come back for somebody else, or they had, to bring up kids or bring up grandkids or whatever.
There was some reason they were brought back.
No, they chose to come back. That's the thing. The light, whether you want to call the light
Almost
God.
Gotcha.
But if you want to call the light God, just for
the next half an hour,
for the sake of having a name to call it, it would say you can stay if you want to, but it's your choice to either stay or go.
Okay.
And so the people that chose to come back, it was a conscious choice. So they weren't coerced by the light.
I'm more interested now in the negative ones.
Well, there was it's been a long time since I've read them, but there was very few negative ones that I can remember. I think someone was sort of, when they travel up the tunnel of light, that someone was sort of falling backwards into it, and it was really negative. So I don't know. I don't know that many.
Well, there's a school of thought that believes hell's in your own head, and you create your own hell, and you're the only one. You have to forgive yourself to move forward, which is a different line of thought.
Whose theory is that?
I can't remember. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Fact checking for next week.
That's it. But yeah, there is a theory that you create your own hell, and it's all locked within your own personality.
Isn't that a little bit like karma?
Yeah, it is. But
if you do a bad deed,
See, this is why I think we made up this stuff for all of us, because if you do something bad will happen to you. Thou shalt not, you shouldn't do this, or this will happen, or this will get you in the afterlife. But if you're really, really good and give us your money and do what you're told, you'll sit at the feet of God. I know, it's just...
So you're saying it's a way to control people, essentially, that's what you're saying.
I am. And you see the cults, like even the David Koresh thing. That's on a much smaller scale. But
let's get into that. I love that
same. Yeah, but it's the same principle. It's the same principle.
Is it the same principle?
They believed he was the next Messiah.
They did.
So, obviously, people believed there was one the first time. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a second one. There's a Tom Waits, two guys said the Jesus one must be lying. So, but people feel the need. They're drawn to these things, and they're drawn to these people, and it's got to be something lacking in what we're doing as a society so that these people feel the need. They have to go and get this from someone else.
Yeah, I agree. And as you know, we've kind of discussed cults before, such cults like Waco and other things.
Branch Davidians.
Yeah, but I think that's a personality trait thing. Because he had people from all walks of life. Actually, quite a number of his followers were Australian too.
Yep, I've seen the interviews.
One of the survivors, who's very not outspoken, but he does a bit of media. Yeah, he was an Australian fellow, and his daughter.
Yeah,
did she die?
I can't remember.
I can't remember if she died. I have a feeling she did. I think she stayed behind and she got killed in the fire. I think. Yeah. But she was sleeping with him. But I love that. I love how he goes.
No. This was the sin I want to take away from everybody. Okay. So they were all with him until that point where he went, "Yes, I'm the next Messiah. I'm writing this. God is sending me messages. We're gonna be the chosen people. We're going forward." Hold on, I fancy you and you. So I'm gonna have to just give me a minute. I'm just gonna change the rules. I'm gonna come back and take that sin away from you, and I'm gonna bonk your wife.
Yes. I'll take that sin away from you. Let me take that a burden of sin off you. That's what essentially what he said.
Yeah, which is basically mind control.
But see, I think that's
because somebody signed up and said, "Go ahead."
Yeah, I know, but the thing about that isn't that just the oldest con in the book?
What?
Not the oldest con in the book. The oldest con in the book is Jesus was born from a fucking virgin. That's the biggest con in the book. Oh, what's that? What's that, Mary? Oh, you're pregnant. Oh, I see. We haven't had sex yet. Oh, yes, but it's God's. Okay, that's fine then.
Apparently that's how it happened.
Fucking the biggest con ever. How are you pregnant? We haven't had the relations yet.
You see them on Facebook and they're on these TV shows going, "I've never had sex, but I'm pregnant."
Oh, like
Jerry Springer or something like that.
Yeah. But anyway, we digress from what we're talking about.
As we always do.
From breastfeeding. Yeah, I find that stuff, in particular, Waco, really interesting. But any of those things, what I think I've come to with cults, with those type of cults, whether there be any kind of cult, is it's about power and control.
But who gets to draw the line when it's a cult and when it's a religion?
Well, I think aren't all religions a cult?
You said it, not me.
I think that is the definition.
Yeah.
Sometimes people say the Christian cult, they'll say the Jewish cult, they'll say
the cult is when you say cult is it's.
Do you want me to Google cult? The definition of cult?
No, but it's got derogatory meanings when you go.
Well, I don't know.
They're a member of if you say I'm a Catholic. Okay, you're
the cult
Catholic.
of Catholicism.
But if you went, I'm in a cult, people would go, "Wow, nut job."
Well, I was listening to a podcast last night with I can't remember her name. It was on Joe Rogan's podcast, but I can't remember her name, but she was in Scientology for a really long time, and she was in King of the Hill. She was the wife in King of the Hill. Remember King of the Hill?
Yeah, this animation.
Not King of the Hill. King of. Oh, I can't remember the name. Well, King of the Hill was a cartoon. It wasn't
That's
that
what
one.
you said.
Yeah, no, it's not King of the Hill. It's the other one. It was I can't remember the name of the comedian, the guy, but she was his wife in the show. But anyway, she was in Scientology from.
Well, they've got
10 years old.
They've got academies that make them look like sailors. They get the uniforms.
Oh yeah, that's the oh shit. What is that called?
I don't know, but they all have these.
The something core or the Sea Corps or the
Sea Corps. That's it.
Something like that. Yeah.
So they've
fact check.
Where
Sea Org maybe.
Sea Org.
Right.
You happy now?
So
what
semantics are important.
Where's the line in the sand between a bad cult and just a religious cult? And who gets to draw the line? Like, who decided
that's a really good point.
The Davidians were going to be dangerous and we're going to go and burn them to the ground? Why don't they didn't stop at every church on the way up there and burn it to the ground? So who gets to decide?
Well,
and whose moral compass is that?
Yeah, but see, Waco was a different story. I think there was other. Don't think the religious side of it was. There was a couple of things from memory. I'm just going from memory. Fact check. is that
Guns.
there was claims
the
that
guns.
he was, or that the children were being abused. That was
Yeah.
one, and I think the initial pretext of the raid was about children. I think I think the initial, certainly the initial concern was about the kids, and then it became, oh, he's fucking got shitloads of firearms in there,
Yeah.
and that's when the ATF came in, and that's when the Branch Davidians gave them more than they could. Well, more Branch Davidians died than the ATF, but
That's what happens when you set fire to buildings. People die.
no,
inside.
that was the FBI when the FBI came in later. But in a lot of ways, for a bunch of untrained, Christian types, they gave the ATF a bloody good serve.
like a Christian militia type thing. Is that what you're saying?
Who? Branch Davidians?
Yeah.
Look, I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking. But then, of course, after the ATF had their asses kind of whipped pretty well,
Yeah.
they didn't wipe the floor with them, but they did a bloody good job. And then it was like, "Oh fucking hell, we can't let them get away with this," and send the FBI in.
Yeah. That ended
So
up well,
I think
didn't it?
and the most appalling thing about that whole thing for me is that they weren't someone else's people. They weren't Mexicans. They weren't Canadians. You know what I mean? They were
Hold on,
American.
I'm leaving now. I'm distancing
they were
myself as
American
far away from you as I can.
They were American citizens. They
Yeah.
did it to their own fucking people, and all they had to do was wait.
What does it matter? What does it matter where they're from?
Well, because it is more accepted.
You shouldn't
not
be
by
killing
me.
anybody.
No, I agree. But I mean, most people will go, well, in World War One, if we go and fight the Germans, fucking, they're just stupid crowds. That's okay because they're not from your country. But you know what I mean? I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying that that's what I think the...
No, they used religion. The government used religion to go in. They're Branch Davidians. They're out there. We need to go and sort these people out.
Yeah, but I think there was more to it than that. It wasn't...
Of course there was more to it,
there was
but
way
religion
more to
was
it.
used.
Yeah, what do they call him? The sinful Messiah or something?
Something like that.
Fact check.
So there was him, the Scientology, that's L. Ron Hubbard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who, it's amazing that he used to write science fiction.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it was like true.
He's written the most books, the most fiction of anyone in history.
Yeah.
Anyone in history. He must have been fucking tied to his typewriter. Just all that.
Yeah, but let's be honest, he
Apparently
made it
it's
up.
shite too. Most
He
of
made it up.
He absolutely made it up. I say in this podcast I was listening to last night, which I can't think of the name of the girl, but they were talked about all the
So-
literature that he did. That's crap. It is crap.
Was L. Ron's biggest competition the person who wrote the Bible the first time? Has it just taken more to get there?
Maybe, but I believe, and I could be wrong, I believe that Scientology, particularly since the internet, I know this is just a big hearsay, but they've taken a big toll since the internet.
Oh, I'm terribly upset about that.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying that their numbers have dropped since the shit. Like people like Louis Theroux and those guys did the...
But everybody's
stuff.
dropped. Like churches, when I grew up, churches were packed. Now they're empty.
Yeah.
So it's not just Scientology.
No, it's not. But they don't have anywhere near the amount of people who are...
So which religion is growing?
Which religions are growing.
Yeah.
I this will be a fact check for later, but I believe that in this country,
In general.
I think I don't know about the world, but I do believe that Eastern religions are on the increase more than
Eastern
Western.
religion.
Eastern.
Like
So Buddhism
Hindu, Buddhism.
and Islam is on the
Islam.
rise as well, I believe.
Oh, you want to get that one right?
Yeah, well, I'm not pissing anybody off by saying that
No.
they're on the increase, am I?
No, not at all.
No.
But that's what I mean. Because you use that word, Muslim.
I said Islam, actually.
Islam. What's this?
A Muslim is a follower of Islam.
All right, well, it's the same thing. Catholic priest, same thing. You're a member of a religion, yes?
A religion, yeah.
Yeah, and they're on the increase. So Buddhism's on the increase.
Apparently, in Western countries, I think that was years ago. I read that. I can't remember where it was.
So how come it hasn't crossed over? How come our Christian beliefs haven't crossed into their society? You don't see many Muslims changing to Christianity, but you'll see Christians converting.
No, because if you do, you're considered, depending on the country, you're an apostate, and they'll kill you.
Yeah.
Depending on the country.
So
And
that's in the name of God. They'll kill you in the name of God because you want to believe in a different God.
Yes.
Do you see where I'm coming from here?
Yeah,
starting
you're
pick
trying to
up-
convince me religion shit. You're not going to get much of an argument from me.
No, I'm not saying it's shit. I'm saying it's made up.
It's made up. Well, it's made up.
Because it's made up. But you said you believe in it. You believe in
No, but I don't believe in the doctrines of religion.
No, but you believe in the Almighty, the
Well, I
Creator,
believe-
what do you call him? The architect?
Oh, the great architects, I think, is a Masonic term. But but I don't believe that being, if it's there, has any. And this is what I was trying to get at before. That has no influence on our lives.
Okay.
People go and they say, "I'll pray for blah blah."
Wait.
Hmm.
If this great deity or great light or whatever it is that we're too dumb to understand took you aside specially and told you the entire message and made you understand and sent you back here, you'd become one of these people that stands up on the street corner or gets
Why
on
is
the
the life
internet.
of Brian just screaming into my
I
head
don't
right
know.
now?
But you become one of these people. So these people believe that's what's happened to them.
Yes.
They believe
agree.
they've been chosen.
I agree.
Or do they not believe they've been chosen? They go, this is a nice, easy way out. I'm just going to run a cult. I'll make lots of money. I'll take the sin of having to sleep with everybody away from everybody. And I won't pay tax because I'm a religion.
Yeah. No, you're not going to get an argument with me on that point.
So what would you be that person? Do you
No.
think you could be converted to that person?
No.
Why not?
One of the things I was sort of a point I was trying to get to before with
Yeah, I tend to
The branch
avoid your points. They're a bit blunt.
fuck off. The Branch Davidian thing is that I think a lot of the time personality types are attracted. You're saying why are people attracted to this thing?
Absolutely.
I think personality types have a
Yeah.
big thing to do with
They're
it.
all charismatic.
Or is it an easy answer?
Yes. But a bit of both.
It's like
It's no longer my choice.
it's like what
This
Dylan Moran
person-
said about Obama when Obama come in. He said,
What?
you know, like everyone goes, he's going, yeah, what did he say?
He goes, what do you want? He goes, we don't know. You're supposed to sort it out.
Yeah.
You're
I don't
in
know.
charge.
You fix it.
Yeah.
So he had a Messiah complex, didn't he?
Yes.
And they sold it as a Messiah complex with Obama. Yeah.
Are you saying Jesus can't be black?
Well, if you're talking about historical Jesus, he was probably brown.
Yes.
So
No blue-eyed BG here.
Bee Gees.
He looks like the sick one out
You're
of the
a brown
Bee
eyes
Gees.
friend. Tell you what, you'd look like him. Well, the accepted image of.
Yeah.
Fuck, what were we just talking about? Personality types.
Yes.
Yes.
But there was, what's the one in Australia? The family.
Yeah, I don't know much about them.
Well, she was married and he died and she had plastic surgery and she created this whole religion. She's still alive. She's Central
I've
Coast
looked-
somewhere. She's 92 or something.
Really?
Yeah. They were all over the place. And they went in, the police went in because of the children. Now, they were getting abused. That was something terrible. But again, in God's name. So I'm trying to think of something. I know God is supposed to be, and all these people who follow it are supposed to be all do-gooders. But I've never seen them going, we're doing this good in God's name. It's always, we're going in to kill these people in God's name.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So they're using...
Yeah, it's like when Bush was in. It's like you had the Muslims going, "Oh, we're doing this in God's name," and then Bush is going, "We're doing this in God's name." And it's like,
Yeah.
for fuck's sake, leave God out of it.
Yeah.
This is your own shit.
Yes. Created by people.
You
And
fucking hairless monkeys. This is your problem. Apes, sorry. Hairless apes.
Is that us?
Yeah.
We're hairless apes.
Well,
That believe
for
in
the
God.
majority. That believe in God.
Yeah.
Well, what does separate humans from animals? Do animals have a belief in a religion? Like even the advanced ones, like chimpanzees.
Did you say they have a belief in?
No, do they?
Maybe they do.
I don't know. You have to get inside one of their heads. I'm not seeing any altars built by chimps, though.
How do you know? There might be secret chimp altars under the ground or something, high in the bushes. David Attenborough's never seen them, so that doesn't exist. He's 80. He can't keep climbing on those trees.
What time did we start? Because this could go on for a long time.
I don't know. But not long enough yet. There's
hell
so
did we
much
get
to
here?
cover. And let's go there.
Where?
Israel.
Israel. Oh, this is going on YouTube. Like we're not monetizing anything. Just get straight away.
That's okay.
Oh, do you really have to go there? This is a very nasty
Well, Israel's... It's not for me because I think religion's been brought in. Like, I grew up in Northern Ireland. I grew up in the south of Ireland while all that trouble was on. And I felt like religion was brought into that.
I think it wasn't. Even to this day, they still talk about the Catholics and the Protestants.
Yeah. And I think the same thing happened in Israel with the Palestinians.
Yeah, see, this is where we had a slight discussion about this last week where I disagree with you that religion's got really stuff all to do with it. It's about geography and land and resources and those type of things. They just use that as a fucking excuse.
Yes, that's we agree.
Yes,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
think we agreed on that last week too. I can't remember.
Did we? Fact check
Maybe.
that, mother.
I have to go back over last week's. But yeah,
So you want me to leave it alone?
Really want to go there?
No, I'll leave it alone. If you
I'm quite happy to
if you
discuss it.
need the donut to save your ass from sitting on the fence, I'll quite happily sit
I'm
here.
not sitting on the fence. Nothing's off the table. Let's go.
Let's go. I'll tell you, I think the Israelis are persecuting the people of Palestine. I believe that their land is shrinking, their facilities are shrinking. The photographs.
Well, that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's not even. You
So
can't even
that's-
argue that point. That's true.
But is this again in God's name?
I don't know. What I do know is that they get, and I'm going to use this term, a fuck ton of aid from the US. They
Yes.
get lots of money and lots of arms from the US.
Don't most religions, once you're in deep and fanatical, demand like a certain portion of your income?
Do they?
Yes.
Which ones?
I'm just saying in general. Like I'm making massive general statements here, so I can
It
annoy
would
as
do-
many people as
I
I
think
can.
it would depend on the particular religion.
Okay. Do the
I'm-
Jewish community, do they? Well, like in the Catholic society, you're supposed to put your money in the plate.
Yeah, the same as Anglican, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. That's fact check time again.
So you,
But what I do find interesting when I look back at history, particularly local history
it's
around
hard
here,
to look forward at history, isn't it?
looking back, I mean, around here,
Stupid statement.
I-
Looking back at history.
well, look forward at history and then do a 360
Yeah.
and backflip and yeah.
Just
Anyway.
get to your point.
My point is that most of the churches built in places like in Australian country towns like here, is that the community they maybe didn't. Apart from putting it in the plate,
Yeah.
I don't think the religion, took money from them personally or land from them personally. I think they donated to it. How churches were built, like
Isn't
the
it-
big churches
Brethren, just down the road here.
at
Yeah, on that road that goes.
Buchanan.
From, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't they all chip in together?
probably. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know much about them.
Gated
looking-
community.
It is. Yeah, that's fucking scary. Actually, where I was on Sunday at Rathmines, as you're driving into the club where I was playing on the weekend, I said to Michelle, because she came with me, I said, just when we're driving, because she's never been there before, I said, as we're driving in, just take a look left before the club, and it's this, it looks like Waco. It's like this oh, sorry, I nearly did it. This compound.
Yeah.
This compound, it's got fucking razor wire and, well mesh all around it, and it's church.
Is that to keep people out or keep people in?
Well, that's an interesting question. I think it's to keep them in.
Okay, and then, that family in America. We'll get back to Israel.
Oh, the Westboro,
The most hated family in the world. He died, didn't he die?
the leader of it.
The old man.
Maybe, probably. I don't know. He's pretty old.
Now, what possesses someone to go down that road? If you don't know what we're talking about, there was a Louis.
Google it.
Yeah, Louis Theroux did a most
I think
hated
most
family.
people have seen, with any kind of
in
half
America.
brain, have seen the God Hates Fags placards and
Yeah,
stuff.
at soldiers' funerals.
Yeah. How fucked up is that?
I know.
Even if you disagree with it, you just, just leave it alone.
Yeah, the guy's dead.
Yeah.
His families are burying him, and you
But
turn up.
that's the thing about America. They have free speech. They can do it if they want to.
Yes.
Oh, well, we don't like free speech.
I do like free speech,
That's pretty fucked up, though.
but there's very much, free speech is very much alive in Australia because the Muslim community wanted to build a mosque. Remember down here on Buchanan? That never happened.
No, it didn't happen, did it?
Oh, it was community outrage because they didn't
Was
want. Yeah, they didn't want a church built.
Mosque.
They see it as their church.
But they call it a mosque.
I know what it's called.
No graven images in there.
But you know what I mean? What if it had been a synagogue or a Catholic church or
Because there's obviously prejudice towards Muslims in this
Yes.
country.
and that's
And
because
probably
they're God.
xenophobia or I don't know what the religious phobia is. There's probably a word for it.
yeah, probably.
Orphanophobia. No, that's you. Fear of birds.
I
Is
know
that-
what.
that's how you
Yeah, I
say
know what it means.
it?
Yeah,
I'm not sure that's
It's
how
been
you
a
say
fun
it.
weekend.
Yeah. And see that
It's the fanaticals. It's the fanaticals in every
Fanatics.
society.
phonetics.
I don't. It's like fact check all you want, or I'm going to shove this microphone up your arse. But it's the isms where they get so far into an ism that they lose their mind. They get
Okay, explain that a bit more to me.
oh, I saw an interview with American and this lady. It was about the war in Iraq and Iran and all that type of stuff.
Yep.
And this lady in the room brought up Muslims. Until then, nobody had mentioned Islam or Muslims.
Mm.
And this lady went, I can't remember who it was, that's something you can check. And she said only 20% of the world's Muslims have been radicalized.
Mm-hmm.
That's 300 million people.
Mm.
That, you should be scared of that.
It is a scary thing.
But
When you look at this statistic too, is that 1 in 3 people in the entire world is a Muslim.
Yeah.
And this is my father gets all hot and bothered about Muslims.
Who's he married to?
May.
May, okay.
I should really say her name
Oh, you shouldn't.
on the air, should I? Didn't say her last name. But anyway, and I think it is 1 in 3 people in the world is Muslim. If they wanted to take over, they could probably do it by now.
Do you think? But
I'm not going to do the maths with that, but that's a lot of people.
No, but you think about it. Basically, NATO's the anti... almost went down there. But they see themselves as the protector of Western world and
NATO.
Western society. Yeah, they do. So the Americans...
NATO?
Yeah.
Or Americans?
Well, America's part of NATO.
They are.
So is Britain.
Mm.
So they're two of the most powerful...
So is most of the EU.
Ireland are not. We're not.
No, but a lot of the EU is.
Yes. So is that not... Would it not be advantageous for those people to have such a strong military presence if the... I'm wording this really carefully. If the community of Islam decided that they did want to get rid of us?
Well, see, I don't believe that. And this is the thing.
I don't believe it either.
This is the thing that irritates me about people. Look, let me judge this point first.
No, I'm enjoying this.
Well...
Brexit.
Fucking Brexit. The thing is, the problem is with Islam, and I don't mean that there's a problem, but what I mean...
There is a problem with Islam.
Well, there is, but...
There's a problem with all...
religions.
Yeah. All religion has there's an issue.
George Pell.
There's somebody that's doing bad in the background.
Is that a good reason to just get rid of it?
Yes. 100% yes. But who guides your moral compass from there? Who do you go to confession to?
Well, I think
who do you
that book
confess
that
to?
I received for my birthday that's more about how Western civilization has been influenced by Christianity and how our morals are derived from that.
What would happen if we'd never had that? What if there'd never been "Thou shalt not kill"?
Well, you'd still have Celts and Vikings killing people because the fucking the intestines in the goat they just killed tell them to do it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I think...
But it wouldn't only be the pretense of God.
But anyway, what I was trying to get back to with the Muslim thing is that the problem is with people who are critical of it,
yes,
I think, is that they lump in every single Muslim as one big group. And there are so many different schools of thought even within that. Not only that, different countries have got different opinions about things.
Have you ever been in a mosque?
No.
Can anybody go? Do you have to be invited, or can you just wander in off the street?
I don't know.
Because you can wander into a church.
Well, you used to be able to. They lock the doors a lot now because of vandalism and stuff.
Okay. Synagogue? Can you wander into a synagogue?
I don't know. Might be the same. I don't know.
You don't know a lot, do you?
Well, I don't make it my habit to get up every day and go, I might just go visit a mosque today.
Why not? Maybe we should all do that. Maybe if we all did that.
Yeah, but then you're reinforcing that religion's good.
No, we're making friends with these people.
There's nothing wrong with making friends, but okay, I'll give you another argument that I had with someone online a few years ago. And I said, let's just fuck off all religion. Let's just piss it off. And then his argument was, he said, but what about the charity work that they do? What about, those type of things?
That's humans. That's not God.
And that's what I said. I said, you don't need to have a religion to be charitable.
Yes.
You can still have charities and, women's shelters and fundraising, whatever, for people, regardless of religion.
Humanity. Believe in humanity.
I guess what Christianity believes in, and Muslims also are very quite charitable as well.
Right.
One of the things a lot of people don't realise about Ramadan is that Ramadan is, people say, fucking do Ramadan. But Ramadan is actually a way to understand how the people who don't have food and water, and so it's like a bit of an empathy thing.
You mean a bit like Lent?
I don't know what Lent is.
Oh,
I've never done Lent.
Okay.
I don't know what Lent is.
Right.
And
the lead 40 days before Easter, 40 days, 40 nights.
So what do you do? Or don't you do?
well, it's you either fast, like not for the whole time, but you do fastings. You sacrifice something, you give up something you love, or you give up something you really cherish doing, or you go to mass every day.
Yeah.
Or
So
something
it's a
like
similar
that.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a way to appreciate the people that haven't got those things.
Yes, and makes you appreciate what you've got a whole lot
what
more
you've
at the
got.
end.
Exactly. Yeah, that's,
So
that's what I was trying to say.
It starts with Ash Wednesday in Catholicism and finishes with
What's
Easter
Ash
Sunday.
Wednesday?
I can't remember why, but they I can't. But they do the symbol of the cross on your forehead. So I can't remember why. I'm going to hell. Oh no, I don't believe in it. So there you go. I'm not.
So yeah,
But every religion's got something like that.
every
I would imagine so, unless there's some fat bastard religion I want to go and join. It just goes. It's
Well,
today
one of
is
the interesting
whatever
things
day it is. You can drink as much beer as you want and eat all the pizza.
Here's a question for you. There's not many religions that say it's okay to be prosperous. Which ones do? There's probably only one, maybe two.
There's one that could be an obvious choice that could get me in a lot of trouble. I'm going to say maybe Judaism.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
It's actually because they, but well, I shouldn't be speaking out of school, but my understanding of it is that God wants you to be prosperous.
Okay.
So, but most other religions, so including Christianity, and we're talking about Abrahamic religions here. We're not even talking about all the other ones. So, of the Abrahamic religions, that's the only one that says it's okay to be prosperous. Christians say what? Be charitable, give everything away.
Yeah.
And Islam is very similar, where it's you do be charitable to people.
But it keeps people poor though,
Keeps people poor.
which is much easier to control.
Yeah, I agree.
And, look at the vast wealth of the Catholic Church. That's horrendously hideous. There's so much stuff they could get rid of.
But people love it.
Sell.
They love it.
and
I love all the
save
pump
so many
and the
things.
funny hat. What does Dylan Moran say? I put on the funny hat, I'll live forever, or whatever, something like that.
You've got enough funny hats of your own. I wouldn't be casting aspersions.
How do I stave off death? I'll put on a funny hat and a funny robe.
That's it.
Yeah, something like that.
That's the pomp and ceremony, but that's humans. Humans did that.
Yeah, I
God
agree.
didn't go, listen, I want you to wear a big dress,
I agree. I totally agree with you.
big hat that looks like a chess piece.
Well, exactly.
And I don't mean the bishop. More likely the queen.
Oh, let's not go down that road. Even though
Well, that's another...
her birthday yesterday. But see, when I went to the Tower of London there a couple of years ago, I mean, the building itself from a historical perspective was very
Well,
interesting.
there you go.
'Cause it goes
Church
back-
of England.
goes back
How did
to
the Church
William
of
the
England
Conqueror.
start?
William the Conqueror, I think that's right. But when you go and see the Crown Jewels, you just go, what the fuck is this shit? That one gem alone could feed Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking half of Africa, maybe.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
buy
whatever.
the other half.
But see, this and I guess that's where I have maybe the possibility of becoming a Marxist.
I said this
Or a
last week.
communist.
You could be a communist, and you didn't believe me.
But I don't believe in those principles.
But yeah, they
I
could,
don't know.
There is people in power that could change the world,
There is
and most of them, like
Gina
there is
Reinhardt.
religious places. Sorry,
Gina Reinhardt.
but
She's the richest person in Australia, isn't she?
I don't know.
I think she is. Fact check.
I'm not a huge money person like you are.
No, I'm not a money person.
I'm
either.
not so interested. I've got to
No, but
join
I'm
the
pretty
religion.
sure. Well, she's certainly the richest woman in the country.
Yeah,
If she's
absolutely.
not the richest person, I'm not quite sure.
And what is she? What religion is she?
I don't know.
But Church of England. Henry, wasn't it Henry VIII?
Yeah, I think it was Henry.
He went,
Yep.
I want a divorce. The Pope went, you can't have a divorce. And he went, right.
I'll start my own religion.
I'll start my own religion. Church of England it is. I'm now in charge. Get rid of the Pope.
Oh, you didn't give me a baby? Whack! You didn't give me a baby? Whack! How many did he knock off?
8, I think, wasn't it?
Fact
Look,
check.
that one. I don't really
But yeah,
care.
it's
So he
it's
was
crazy,
just-
isn't it?
I don't like your religion. I'm going to start my own.
Well, obviously, the British Empire was strong enough to be able to do that back then and say, "Fuck, we don't need you financially.
Yeah, but
We don't need your
I
support.
can't
we
get
can do
my
our own
head
thing."
around it. I can't get my head around the fact that you can just go, well, religion says I can't do this, so I shouldn't do this. Either just fucking do it anyway and get on with your life, but you don't go, do you know what? I'm such a pump as fuck. I'm just going to go, you can get stuffed. I'm starting my own religion. Who?
But there was a bit of a divergence from the Catholic Church around that time, anyway, wasn't there? With
Henry.
Martin Luther and all that.
Oh, yes.
But that's where the Protestant that happened in Germany, didn't it? I don't know much about that. By the way.
Lutheran. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't. That might have been Lutheran. Might have been. I don't know what he created, but that was a branch from
Yes.
from away from the Catholic Church. As
But
well, wasn't it?
it's all branches of the one tree.
Yeah.
There's just
Yeah.
different sects.
Yeah, I agree.
And like Jewish and Catholicism are so close to a point until when they killed Jesus, the Catholics got
when they killed Jesus. I think the Romans killed Jesus technically.
I don't know.
I think they're the ones that nailed him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Maybe under pressure from the Jewish community at the time. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. So it's just
If it fucking actually even happened.
of course it did.
You think it really happened?
I don't know. Who cares? Like, why do we care? Why do we care? Why are two dickheads like us having a full hour conversation?
You brought it up.
I know, but why? Because of somebody's imaginary friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's fucked.
Yes. I can't believe we're agreeing.
It's like the Bible. Proof God exists. Mr. Tickle. Proof Mr. Tickle exists.
The Bible, the New Testament, most of the New Testament was written by Luke.
I like Luke.
Was
Look up Tommy Tiernan on the internet.
uh,
YouTube.
But
Very
Luke was a
funny.
doctor. He was a physician.
Was he?
Yeah. So, do you think that's a man of science? Well, there wasn't much first aid. There wasn't much first aid back then. The first guy to turn up and just point at you going, yeah, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
So he wrote most of the New Testament. Yeah, they think he actually wrote some of the Old Testament as well, but they can't prove it.
Really?
Yeah.
But isn't the idea is that are the apostles, aren't they? They call them the apostles, yeah. So the apostles wrote their individual chapters. You know, the Gospel according to Luke, the Gospel according to
There's only four
whoever.
Gospels.
Whoever it is.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Yeah. And then there's the other one. There's another one which was omitted, which I can't think of the name of right now.
Judas wrote a Gospel as well.
No, not Judas.
He did.
Yeah, no, I don't know. But that's not what
James.
I'm referring to. Thomas.
Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas. It's
Doubting Thomas. That's where that
Doubting
phrase,
Thomas.
that's where the phrase comes from.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. But
The
yeah,
story in the Bible said he had to shove his fingers through Jesus' hands
when
Jesus was resurrected to
Right.
prove, because he was a doubter.
did you believe that?
Did I believe I believed growing up, the Old Testament
Now,
stories.
did you believe when you were Catholic
Mm.
before you were going to hell? Did you believe in the story of the resurrection?
I did, yes.
You did.
I did.
No, I see. I've got a very archetypal kind of mind, and I think that, and this is why I probably like a lot of the pagan stuff as well. And this is a big reason why you look around this room and you see Star Wars stuff, because in Star Wars, not
middle-aged man.
there's way more people that got bigger collections than me. But the point I'm making is that in the original trilogy that came out when I was a kid, is that it was so full of archetypes. That's what tickled people's brains and go, oh, this seems familiar to me.
Yeah.
And this is and it comes from a book called The Hero's Journey, written by Joseph Campbell, which Lucas based a lot of the ideas of Star Wars off of originally. Not so much the prequel trilogy, and not so much the one.
I don't know. After the 70s, I was kind of out.
But I find that unless, like, I'm a fan of another thing very similar to Star Wars, which is Dune. I'm a really big fan of those movies and those books as well. And they have those similar archetypes. So when I sit down and watch a movie like that, unless they have those archetypes in it, I tend to get bored pretty quickly.
So you need a Jesus.
Well, it's not. That's not what I mean. It's. I think that in us humans, we have this collective unconscious. My ears ringing. We have this collective unconsciousness, which is part of who we are, whether it's written into our DNA or whatever, or genetic memory or whatever it is. I don't know. But when, I've always loved that kind of thing, and I can not just Star Wars, but any movie with those kind of themes in it, I just love them. And I might not even know. Apparently, The Hunger Games is very similar.
Okay.
Because the hero's journey, this person, this seemingly nobody, like Luke,
like Jesus.
I don't know if Jesus falls.
He's kind of started.
Jesus follows in.
He started with a bit of a bang. Christmas Day.
Yeah, but it doesn't really follow the cycle of the hero.
Well, he started off from nothing, and all of a sudden he's the son of God.
Yeah, but
I don't think there's a bigger story.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the same as the hero's journey, though. I think the hero's journey, he's kind of a nobody. He gets a call to, action or whatever thing, and he initially goes, "Oh, fuck, I don't want to do that," but then he's forced to do it, and he goes and does it, and he receives this artifact, whether it be Excalibur, whether it be a lightsaber, whether it be whatever, and it's just, and apparently this, according to Campbell's theory, is that this hero's journey appears in a lot of literature and a lot of ancient pagan stories. It's just universal, and that's why it appeals to people. But I wouldn't say that Jesus necessarily falls into that category. Jesus to me is Osiris. Same story
in the Bible, again, for me to quote unquote, not exactly, but he does ask for it not to happen. At some stage he goes, if this cannot happen, please make this not happen. And then he has to accept and go through it anyway.
When did that happen?
I think it's when he's about to be crucified.
Okay.
And he goes, I don't want it to happen. If you can make... it's the garden, the garden of whatever it is the night before, where he's praying before Judas comes up and gives him a kiss on the cheek.
You do.
Now we have to kiss the ring.
Before you shaft somebody. Yeah.
So yeah, he asked for it to be taken away from him, and then not possible. And then he gets the artifact by getting dug up and like, hey, I'm alive.
What artifact?
The fact that he's the only man that ever come back from the dead, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I thought I saw your look on your face. I thought I'd finish that with that.
Well, got all the zombie powder and all that, and the Haiti.
Zombie powder.
Yeah, there's zombie powder.
There's no such thing as zombies, Murray.
No, there's no such thing as zombies, but it put people into a death-like state where they thought they were dead, bury them, and then these voodoo priests would sorry about that. These voodoo priests would come along and dig them up, and because they were brain damaged for lack of oxygen, blah 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 blah, they were fucking looked like zombies, and then they controlled them. I don't know how good a half brain dead person would serve as a servant for you.
I don't know, they run the country.
But have you ever seen that movie?
Which one?
It's called the Serpent. I haven't watched it for years. The Serpent and the Rainbow, and it's about.
I've seen that.
A long time ago. It would have been 80s, mid 80s, late 80s.
I remember that. But see, that's if I watch a horror movie. The horror movies that scare me the most are not all the blood and guts ones. It's all the ones that use religion and things that you will have heard of or just slightly heard of. There's one
such as.
What's the one? Keanu Reeves. Constantine.
Oh, I love Constantine.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah,
but it's all that stuff that's wrapped up in the mythology of the Bible and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's another one where Alice Cooper plays the devil outside of church. I can't remember what movie's called.
I don't know. I haven't seen that one.
And there's one where Schwarzenegger's the devil, isn't there?
He was in a movie called The End of Days.
The End of Days. He wasn't. But they crucified him at the end. He gets crucified. Yeah.
Right.
Gabriel Byrne was the devil.
He
played it really well.
But see, even with that, like. A lot of people liken the story of Jesus, dying and being crucified and resurrected is similar to Osiris. And there's a theory by some occultists that, like Kuan Yin, the Virgin Mary, and Isis are basically all the same archetype.
Yep.
They're all the same mother goddess type thing.
I'd agree with that.
And Osiris and Jesus, and I think Mithras is another one.
It's whatever your parents decide to drill into your head.
But isn't it interesting that these themes keep going through humanity? So there must be something in us that makes us go, oh. And is this kind of what you're talking about? Why are people attracted to things like David Koresh and things like that?
They need a compass. They need a moral, basically
I
moral
don't
compass.
Think that's the case. I mean, yes, I agree with you on that point. I think some people do need guidance. And actually, I used to teach guitar to a fella years ago, and he was, I'm not sure what church he was part of, but it was like a Pentecostal type, new type church. And he was coming to me to learn guitar and vocals and things like that, so we could sing and play in church.
Yep.
I don't have a problem with that. Whatever floats your boat. I don't care. But then one day, and I knew the inevitable bloody question was going to come: what religion are you?
Yeah. What did you say?
And I said, I just said, I think at that time I was very much into Buddhism. I said, if anything, I'm maybe a Buddhist. But he said to me, but how can you live your life without some sort of guidance and principles? And I said, but Buddhism does have those principles, but...
You look at the Hillsong boys and girls.
Hillsong, I don't know much about them either.
They're new to the scene, but they're they're vastly popular in this area, hugely. They've got a
Yeah.
whole massive church in the middle of Newcastle,
Yeah, and Sydney.
but they're very much about
Oh, of course.
money.
Of course, yeah.
And like when he does,
Seem to get people to do a lot of jobs for them for nothing.
I know. So maybe
But
there's
but is that different from, the guys and girls, that helped build the churches, say, here in the Maitland area back in the early days?
no, it's not.
Gave
but
money. They donated money and time and,
Yep.
and skills, probably.
I'm agreeing, but what I'm saying is, why do we need the church to do that?
I've got a question for you, even though this is your question.
Why do we need the church to do that? Why can't we just do that?
Exactly, I agree. Why do we need the church? I don't think we do.
You don't? Are we done then?
No. I don't even know what time it is.
We're going
What time
straight
is
to
it?
hell. I have no idea.
Shit. It is 4:52. What time did you get in?
About now.
So
About an hour ago.
Okay, so one question for you before we...
Oh yeah.
I
Hit
don't
me.
think we finished.
No,
What
I'm
we're
happy to
talking-
keep going. Absolutely.
We'll go for a while, but a lot of people have said to me, "How long does it go for?" Oh, it's about an hour. Oh, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. So there's nobody listening now.
So
We can
this,
say what
this
the
is the
fuck we
problem
want.
with this modern world. They got attention spans that long.
Yeah. 8
Pathetic.
minutes.
8 minutes.
That's it.
Has a study been done? Or?
I don't know. I'm just making it up now. There's nobody listening anymore.
Okay, question for you. Reincarnation, do you believe that could be a possibility? Because I have always, I'm talking always, even when I was a little kid, even when I used to go to church and choose to, believed in reincarnation. I don't know why, it's just something that's always, it was never taught to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a feeling that is true.
So the light that people see could be your rebirthing.
When you read those kind of stories, that comes later.
Okay.
It comes later. So if you choose, I think the kind of the idea is if you choose to stay.
So what you're saying is there's this big ball of energy in the sky.
I don't know what it is.
We're calling just
The
come with
white
me.
light. They call it the white light.
Yeah. So your architect, the white light, somebody else's Jesus, whatever. That's there.
Exactly. Yeah, the human trappings are the name. This is what it started off with. It's the names that humans give this thing,
Yeah.
which makes it this religion, that religion, blah, 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 blah.
I actually had a story once told to me, Father Eugene.
Is this the mountain thing?
Yeah. It is the mountain thing.
But I disagree with this. But anyway, please tell the viewers, listeners.
Well, different pathways to the top of the mountain, different views of the same God. So one way's nice and all the way up the meadows and you're picking daisies, and the other one's got overclimbs and big spiky things, but it's the one mountain, it's the one God. So it's the different ways of approaching God or the light or...
What do you want to call it?
Yeah.
Whatever name you put on it. Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Why do you...
I don't have...
that?
No, I didn't. So it doesn't really work for Buddhism.
I don't
Because the
give a stuff.
Buddhists don't really... The thing that I think a lot of people get confused with, and people go, oh, Buddha's your God or something like that. And Buddha wasn't God.
No.
But Buddha never claimed to be God. He was just a teacher, really.
Yeah.
He was a teacher. Like Jesus was a teacher.
Yep.
He was a rabbi. He was a teacher. Yes, and people... I think Buddhism is more a philosophy of how to live your life than how to get to the hereafter and get into a good place in the hereafter.
But just see, that's... Do we need this reward to be good?
I don't think you should
But-
need it.
But I was saying, is this why we've created religion? So we have this big carrot.
Okay, next question. Next, I'll put to you.
You're lucky I didn't
understand
answer
your
the
question.
last question, so keep going.
No, I understand your question you're coming to. But did someone, and you did sort of did talk about this, but I think it was a bit comical. But do people have experiences? Like, did Moses have an experience, a true experience? Or some people say that there was something in the burning bush that he that somehow got into his system and then started hallucinating all these things. I don't know. And
people follow them
Muhammad,
still. People followed them. People followed them.
people did follow them. And same with Muhammad. Didn't he sit up in a cave and pray, and then Gabriel came down and spoke to him.
It
And
was a golden step ladder, I'm pretty sure.
was it? I don't know that one.
Rope ladder, golden rope ladder.
But Gabriel came down and
Yeah.
spoke to him and
Yeah.
gave him these ideas, whatever those ideas
So
are.
angels.
Angels. What about them?
Isn't Gabriel an angel?
Yeah, Gabriel's an angel.
Was an angel or is an angel?
Is.
Okay, so you believe in angels.
I don't know if I believe in them.
Who's angels? Are
Well,
they
see,
God's
again,
angels?
I'm going to go back to the archetypal stuff. I think there's, it's like animal symbolism as well. You know, like animals in native cultures and shamanic cultures, you know, represent something about us. I think the same thing with angels; they represent something about. Same with pagan gods; they represent something about us.
I think it's just something that's
Just
easy.
shit.
Yeah, I do. I do. I think it's something. It's something you've looked around and gone, right. There's lots of grass here. Let's make something about the grass, the god, and then everybody believe in it because there's lots of it.
So that sounds very paranoid to me. It sounds like your theory is that it's all about control.
There is a certain degree of it that I think is about control. And
I agree.
about money
But I don't think
and
that's,
control.
I don't necessarily think that's where it started, though.
Humans as a race, we're dumb. Like collectively,
No argument there.
collectively we're dumb. Why do we need to believe in this horseshit just so we can, have a nice afterlife? Why can't we just be fucking nice
That's
to
an
each other
interesting
now?
topic that you just raised there.
Why can't we just be nice to each other now and live harmoniously?
Well, that's an atheist
now?
point of view, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. Oh God, am I an atheist?
Well, I don't know. Well, there's atheists and there's atheists. You know what I mean? There's people like can't think of his name right
I
now.
don't know.
But,
British comedian?
Who?
Is that the guy you're trying to think of?
Ricky Gervais?
Yeah.
No. For God's sake, what's his name? He's written a book.
You see, for God's
He's
sake.
a really well-known atheist. I just can't think of his name right now. Fact check. What the hell was I just talking about?
I don't know. Archangels.
Did you
was
answer
the-
my question about reincarnation?
No, I did not.
Do you believe in it?
I don't know. That's
don't
why.
know?
That's why I've waffled for the last 10 minutes and sent you
you're
in
dodging
different.
the question.
I was sending you in different directions, and I was working too until I actually admitted the fact that I hadn't answered the last one, and you were like, "I'm about to ask you a new question." I'm like,
But
"Go
why
ahead."
can't you answer that? That's a
Because I don't
simple-
know. Because I.
But you don't have to dodge around the question. You just say, I don't know.
I don't know because I want to say yes.
Hmm.
I really want to say yes, but
Okay,
you've got this kid in India that was reincarnated or claimed to be reincarnated and went back to the exact spot and pointed out the exact people that were like miles and miles and miles away. There's certain things like that obviously the energy, if you believe in all that type of stuff, that kid's energy is being somewhere else. It doesn't mean you're reincarnated. It means the energy that's part of you.
Maybe you received the information from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still didn't answer the question, by the way.
No, you said you don't.
I don't know.
You don't know. And that's fair enough.
I'd love to think so.
I'd like to think so, and I think, but it could
But
be
what's
also.
the point?
What's the point?
What's the point of
I think the
reincarnation?
point
If you can't
is-
remember the last life,
Well, that's a good argument.
if you
I
can't
reckon
remember
the
the last
kids-
life, how are you supposed to get better and make less
People
mistakes?
who are aficionados of this stuff
Yeah.
do believe that kids remember their previous life up until about 5-6 years of age, and then
Yeah.
they forget.
Yeah.
And it just goes away.
So what's the point?
But what about if it's in your subconscious somewhere? What about if it's stored somewhere?
So you think Ivan Milat in his subconscious
I had a
somewhere?
crack up the other day. Someone we know at someone we know's establishment
Yeah.
are doing, and I believe in this shit. So it was just the way that she said it. She said, "Oh, we're having a past life dinner." I got fucking what? She went, "Oh, and is that the dinner you had in a past life? You have the same meal again? Is that what you do?" But it's a past life reading at the dinner.
Right.
Yes, that's what it is.
Good save.
Yeah.
Good save.
But I just thought, she said, "I'm doing
Doesn't
a past
matter,
life
we're-
dinner." I went,
We're an hour in. No one's listening.
but
So
yes.
you believe in reincarnation? You said.
Oh, look, I think I do, but I think that, and you know what? The funny thing is, I think I believe in it more than I believe in God.
Then what brings you back?
What brings you back? I don't know.
So you don't believe there's a God that can bring you back? You just come back?
I don't know.
It's just like we're a leaf and we fall off the tree into the ground and then we just come back out next year?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't believe it. I'm not saying I've got a theory of how it works. I'm saying it's just a belief, and a belief doesn't require any evidence. But I'm not gonna sit here and convince other people that it exists. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and try and argue with you and say, "Oh, yes, reincarnation is true," and I want you to believe it, and I'll beat you over there with a big stick if you don't.
Go for it. Like I haven't been beaten over the head with Catholicism stick for 20 years.
Yeah, but my point is, and that's the thing I think where religion becomes, it just becomes too much.
Yeah. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what you believe.
No, neither do I.
I just don't need to know about it.
Actually, Josh brought up a thing. He said everyone should just have their religion at home, and it should be a private thing, and you shouldn't be able to do it in public. And I actually agree with that. Just if you want to believe in God,
So you're saying these
Allah.
people, so you're saying these people can't have churches?
just do it at home.
But what if they want to build things?
Why do you need to build something to worship it?
I don't know.
If you do, why do you need it? Why do you need that?
Why did you need a Death Star?
That's fiction.
My point exactly.
Um,
Organized religion, I'm off. I'm
You're
done.
done.
I'm done with
You're
organized
done.
religion.
it is in the words of Billy Connolly.
Yeah, I'm
It's
completely,
fucking over, lads.
I'm completely done with it.
Well, I've been done with it for a long time.
I'm happy to take. I'll do the. No, stop it now. I'll take the bits I like, and I'll believe in that, and the bits I
Yeah,
don't
and that's
like.
a lot of people do things
Off
like
you
that.
go.
Yeah.
You know, like born again Christians do.
Born agains, like Pentecostal types.
Oh, they go. We'll take the best bit out of this book. We won't bother with that bit. We like this bit. We'll have lots of this bit. That's the bit where you give us money, and we wear sandals and we bash Bibles and talk to God. But like, don't turn up at my house. I don't want to talk to you. You know?
But there's passages in the Bible that just crack me up, and there's a lot of things, and dare I say this without being beaten with something, but the things that you're not supposed to do in more particularly the Old Testament, having a wank. I don't mean having a wank. I mean things like don't wear clothing from two different types of material or threads.
Yeah.
And shit like that. And
there is weird things like that.
And don't eat shellfish.
Yeah.
And don't eat pig, and that's not just an
See,
Islamic thing.
I've got a theory
that's
there.
a Jewish thing as well.
I know. I've got a theory about that.
What?
I reckon there's something in bacon that calms people down.
I've heard this story. I've heard this
So
before.
all we need to do is give Palestinians and Jews bacon sandwiches for a
But there's
week,
Christians that live there as well.
and then they'll be all good.
They would sort of
You're
say
talking
it's-
over my theory here.
Sorry,
It's
sorry,
a
but
great-
no, I get. We weren't going to discuss that, but the interesting thing about the whole plan, and this is why I think it's geopolitical, not religious, is because in Israel you have there may be a majority Jewish people, but you have Christians there, you have Muslim people there.
Would you say Australia's a Christian society?
No, probably not anymore.
What would you say it was?
I'd say
Apathetic,
I'd still
we
probably
all-
say
we
at
all-
this point that when the census comes round, that people would still say Jedi. No, people would still say Christian, but it's not that they necessarily believe in it. It's just that's what they were brought up
That's
in.
the big stick they were hit with as a kid.
Yeah.
They're now hitting their children.
You're
with.
dodging my what I was trying to say. But what I'm trying to say with the Palestinian Israel thing is that, and in Palestine, yes, there may be, I'm not sure if this is correct, fact check, but the majority may be Muslims, but there are plenty of Christians that live there as
Yeah.
well.
But you know what? They're all humans.
And they're all humans.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if Yasser Arafat was human. He looked a bit lizard-like, but he's gone, God rest his soul.
Yeah. So, yes.
So, to conclude, organised religion, bad.
See, I can't go that far either.
Why?
Well, because I think that religion does have some good things, like charity.
And what I'm saying is,
You don't need it. I
Yes.
agree with you. Don't need it, but it's kind of part of their mandate, isn't it?
so we need to have this carrot to go, I'm a goody-goody and I'm going to heaven. Otherwise, nice shit doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a lot of bollocks. I do. I think if you need that seat of God and you're going to be you trust me, you're going to heaven because you helped dig that hole for that poor African fucker. Like, just dig the hole for the poor bastard. He's, you know what I mean?
No, I agree.
I can't abide stuff done in God's name. It should just be done.
It should be done just for humanity's sake.
Yes,
I agree totally.
I think I'm a humanist.
Humanist, yeah, I agree with that. That's a good term. I would
I,
use.
I believe in humans, but I believe we're also a pack of, bad people.
But this is the
We
thing.
do bad things to each other
This is the thing.
in the name of God.
This is a really bizarre example, okay? But one day,
Oh, I'm coming with you. I'm coming with
this
you.
has got
Let's
nothing
go.
to do with religion.
Let's
Okay,
go.
but it is interesting about the nature of animals, which everyone seems to bloody forget that we are animals. They just don't want to accept that for some reason. We're at the beach one day, and I've come to the conclusion that there's a jerk in every species. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
And we're at the beach, and I don't know what we had, bread or something, and we're chucking the bread out, and the seagulls are coming in and getting the bread. And then there's the jerk seagull, like the jerk bird. There's the jerk seagull, and he comes in and chases all the other seagulls away so he can have it all.
Yep.
And I think, well, you know, when people talk about, you know, things like, you know, animals aren't greedy and blah, 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 blah. They probably don't take, in the natural environment, probably more than they need. But there's one that dominates.
Just the bare necessities of life.
Bear, like as in...
The Jungle Book, it's a song.
I don't know the song.
Bare necessities, that's why.
But I think there's a jerk in every species. And there's always one that wants to dominate the others. And I think people
use religion to do that.
Maybe they do use religion, but I think that...
Are you saying Jesus is a seagull?
I'm not saying Jesus is a seagull.
It's the title of your next book, Jesus.
But see, this is the thing. I love Christian iconography.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's fantastic. I like going to churches.
Yeah.
I love seeing crucifixes, and I like angels, and I love that stuff. I think of, and see that's, and then when you say, see, didn't they try that in the Soviet Union though? Get rid of religion. You don't need religion. You only need the state. You don't need that. You need us.
Yeah, but you see, that's replacing. I'm saying let's not replace it.
Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
So what?
I'm not replacing it with the state. Well, why do we need to replace it with anything?
Do you think that's what they were doing? Or they think that's irrelevant? We don't need that anymore.
I think it's irrelevant. We don't need it anymore. It should just go away. And I think eventually it will.
But the interesting thing that happened with that once the Soviet bloc.
Oh, we're done with the seagull.
Forget about the seagull.
Right, we're in USSR.
What was I just talking about?
How state took over the church.
Well, yeah, that's right. So when the Soviet bloc dissolved, boom, churches went straight back up.
Yes. Of course they did.
So people need it. Why
they
don't
need it?
No, people do need it. You don't need it.
No, people don't need it. People don't need it. I suppose they said there's no atheists.
So you're going to tell them that they don't need it?
Oh, no.
Oh, they went back to this dictatorship thing again from last week.
No. Oh, fuck. He, she, whatever it is, right? That doesn't exist.
What about the big river?
Oh, that's a whole different. That's a whole other hour. We'll get to that.
Hour. Fucking be longer than an hour.
So, I don't think people need religion. I guess some people do. But that's why it's still there.
This is what I brought up before about that book that my father gave me. Is that without religion, we wouldn't have the morals we have now.
That's what I'm saying. Are we using it just for a moral guidance?
Is it evolution?
I think eventually...
Do we evolve, go, okay, well, let's not... these are the good things.
Yeah, but at the start of religion, we thought, killing other things was good. Let's kill this goat. God will like that.
Sacrifices.
Yeah, and then we evolved a little bit and went, maybe we shouldn't kill the thing. Just because, God was angry that day, my friend.
Well, that's another path we could go down.
Yeah, I know. But we've evolved past that. The Druids with their live sacrifice of, humans. We evolved past that.
And Aztecs.
I think eventually we will evolve out of religion.
Yeah.
It'd be a good day. Be a cold day in hell.
Good days, good times. All right, well, you want to do outros?
I didn't know there was... What's an outro?
Well,
thanks very much for listening to the absolute waffle and codswallop that has been the last hour and a bit of Jesus, God, Jews, Muslims, Buddhists, atheists, pagans. Jedis, pagans, Hinduism, and every other cult that's under the sun that if we missed out, please send us a hate letter and we will put it up for you. Thank you very much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.